Hello everybody, Ben here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm riding Transport for Wales Class 158's on the North Wales coast. We start at Prestatyn Station. First we see two Class 197s, one in each direction. And an Avanti West Coast double Voyager set. Finally, however, our unit arrives, 158’821. Leaving Rhyl station, which surprisingly is quite a large station, there is this now sadly boarded up Rhyl signal box. It's a very large signal box, again because it's quite a large station, and I think there used to be a lot of traffic that no longer exists, which explains the large size of the station and signal box. Obviously, as this is the North Wales coast, we do see the sea as we head towards Conway. Though at various times the view of the sea on this rather grey and murky day is blocked by embankments, motorways and of course trees.
You will shortly be arriving at Colwyn Bay. Thank you.
We begin to slow for our second stop of this journey from Prestatyn, Colwyn Bay, which isn't the largest station. compared to others like Rhyl or Llandudno Junction, or even Prestatyn. Also has some rather greasy track as well. I assume I must have stopped exactly where the locos or DMUs would stand and release various oils and greases, because that looked rather dirty to me. Eventually we continue on our way. Despite this being the North Wales coastline, we actually go inland for a bit, going through this rather nice valley, which is quite grassy and a bit different to what a lot of the other scenery we've seen on this journey so far. As we come into Llandudno Junction, we have another track in front of us, and as you'll see in a minute, it's quite a large station, and I believe also it's a crew stop. So we do, on the Rhyl train, when I was riding it, we stopped for quite a while. However, obviously I don't want to, I think it'd be a bit boring if I just show the same platform, maybe with some of the other people walking around for about 10 minutes or however long we stop there, because the crew only learn certain bits of the routes or drive on it, and they just change there. From this, what I believe at least, because from what I saw, I don't know if that's exactly what happens, but that's what I had. After leaving Llandudno Junction, which must have about, I don't know, like 7 platforms, because there's 2 bay platforms at this side and the other side, maybe even 8, because of that. You've then got the one on the far line, which eventually joins ours, the one that we're on here, and the other side of that track as well. I don't think there's any other bay platforms after that, but it's quite large, and obviously I think there used to be a shed and everything. I think with there used to be a lot more rail traffic for Irish ferries, and which is why it's so big and there's so many lines around here. Obviously the slate industry, another thing. There's a lot of things that used to be here, and that's why there is so much sort of like large stations and whatever. Obviously all the freight lines have gone because they're not necessarily needed. There you can see the signal box, which just actually look quite modern. I think that's also in use because it doesn't look boarded up. And those lines down there, they're heading towards, I think, eventually Blaenau-Festiniog. And we even go over a motorway on this line, which is slightly interesting, I guess. Now we're going to join on to the Cob, not the Cob on the Festiniog Railway, which is what I know the name of, but apparently it's also called the Cob here, as we head towards Conway, before we then skirt along next to the castle, before we eventually get to the station, inside Conway itself. Across the harbour in Conway, we see a Class 197 DMU heading towards Llandudno Junction. It's rather far away, but zooming in you can just about see it. And from the castle walls, I saw another Class 158 DMU heading into Conway Station. Obviously I don't know the number of this one. The Class 158 on the return journey was 158.818. The journey on the way back from Conway back to Prestatyn is pretty much the same. You know, we go through the same stations. I don't think we stop at anywhere different that we didn't on the way there. But it was still a nice experience riding on these. I think they're nearly 30-year-old now. I think they were built in about 1990s, maybe a little bit older, a little bit younger, I'm not quite sure, but I think it's about 1990. And I think they go up to about 90 miles an hour top speed, which I'm not sure if we reached, but it's definitely fast, and they're still very comfortable. I quite like them actually, quite nice. I like riding them. I don't know if they are being retired yet or not, but they're not exactly the newest things, and I think they've already, Transport for Wales has already replaced their Class 175s, which I saw when I went to Crewe in the summer last year. However, the Class 158 still are around. I don't know if there's any plans to replace them with Class 197s, probably in the long run. And I guess with other operators like Northern, I think even Great Western, they also have Class 158s on their fleets, but I don't know how long they're going to be around, so it's nice to ride them and see them, at least with the Northern units for me, while they're still around. Because they are getting on, I guess, which I guess is weird to say, but they are. We are slowly losing the older units as they're getting older, and they're being replaced by newer units, so it's nice to ride the old ones while I still can. Like I said, it's not really any different, we're going along the same line. I just think the only thing that has changed really is the weather. It's a bit greyer and a bit wetter than it was on the way there, which doesn't surprise me because it's England and Wales. You know, it's not the best. It's not known for sunny weather. It's usually quite wet around here. I'm not quite sure if we reached the top speed of 19 miles an hour. Probably not. But as you can see here, we're certainly moving quite fast, and we fly through some of the stations, such as this one in a minute, which I'm not even going to try and say the name of. But I certainly know it's quite a long name from the sign and what they said on the announcements, because I believe we stopped there on the way to Conway, but I'm not entirely sure. While heading back into Rhyl station, you can see the miniature railway, the Rhyl miniature railway. However, I don't believe there's any train running on the line as we went past. There were trains running that day, I believe, but not while we were going past. But let me know if you do see one.
Oh, of course it's central, isn't it?
With a bit of a clag, Class 158 818 departs Preston Station.